Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ask an Assistant, the podcast for executive assistants and the people that love us. I'm your host, Jess Lindgren. Let's get to work. Today's question comes from esteemed colleague Kathy, who wrote in via askanassistant.com. Kathy says, "Dear Jess, could you please share some tips for working from home with pets?" Short, sweet, to the point. Kathy, you know I'm going to say it. I love this question. Quite possibly because I spend many a day fighting the uphill battle of, do I snuggle my cats or do I get my work done? Thankfully, they are able to be snuggled and I can work at the same time. It does involve some rather creative, please get off my lap desk, please get off my computer, please stop touching my trackpad and laptop. For the love of all that you believe in, please stop it. But the work does get done, and I spend way too many days covered in cat fur. If you check out the Ask an Assistant Instagram, you can see firsthand what I deal with when the cats are hungry. I've tried working at my dining room table, which is honestly the one piece of furniture in the house that I don't want them stepping on. They absolutely do step and sit on it, especially when I'm working at said table, really to the point where I have to put a board game or a huge book on the table so that they can sit next to me, but not be on the table, you know? Working in our sitting room, we don't have a couch. We have armchairs, which is not an ideal situation when you have a cat or two trying to share the space with you and a laptop. We have 2 guest rooms and a podcast closet, all of which have desks in them, one of which, the podcast closet, I am coming to you recorded, not live, from as I speak. If I work in one of the guest rooms or the podcast closet with the door shut, the cats will whine and or paw at the door until I come out, which really does not lend itself to good focus time. I am actually recording this episode while my husband has just fed the cats dinner. So I know I'm going to get about 15 minutes of uninterrupted cats leaving me alone time. If I work in the attic where my husband's office is, I have to contend with his voice booming through the big open space. His office is up there. He takes way more calls than I do. It's his space during the workday, honestly. And his voice echoing through the chamber creates a whole different set of problems that we will address in next week's episode. Spoilies. Also, I have quite recently recovered from pneumonia and bronchitis, so I spent a fair amount of time on my laptop in bed with a lap desk. My lap desk is a large, thick cutting board. So there's plenty of space for the cats to walk around on it, around and honestly on my laptop. The cats have very recently, because of that illness, become accustomed to a new standard of me being available in a very comfy, large enough for all of us environment. On the bed, you don't have the same space constraints that you do if you're sitting in an armchair. So all of that said, these are my actual tips for working from home with pets. Give in. Just snuggle the cats, pet them, take them on a walk. I mean, I don't take my cats on a walk, but for folks with dogs or folks who have cats that can tolerate leashes, folks who have pets that need walks, take them on a walk. All pets need playtime. Give them treats. Their tiny little lives are ridiculously unfairly short, and I don't know a single person who has ever regretted an extra few minutes spent with their furry friends. Just give in. Spending time with your pets is good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. I did a little research into this, looking at different studies that are available of human interaction with pets. The science is ongoing, let's say, but it seems to suggest that spending time with your furry friends can lower your stress levels. Pets absolutely need exercise, and that's a great excuse for you to get up and away from your desk, for you to get some fresh air, whether it's with or without your pets. You got needy cats, it's nice to step outside and get away from them. You've got a dog that needs to blow off some steam. Take them outside. It's great. Great all around for mental and physical health. You can also work within your pet's rhythms. And I'm saying this as a person who does not have children, but I am guessing that this is similar to human children. Pets have rhythms of their own. It was definitely easier when my husband and I first adopted our cats and we both worked outside of the home. So this would have been like 2012 to 2014. The cats had their own rhythms of us leaving in the morning, like they were snuggly for the hour as we were getting ready, feeding them breakfast, getting ready to go. And then when we got home, they'd be super snuggly and excited to see us, probably because we were going to feed them. But now that we both work from home and have done for many years, and 5 of those years now were pandemic years where we spent a lot of extra time at home, and our house is basically just one giant cat furniture fort. The cats do have rhythms. They've definitely become more, what am I looking for here? Like attached, like especially our attic cat. He definitely has separation anxiety when my husband leaves the attic, like when he leaves his office to come downstairs, use the restroom, get food, what have you. I've been up in the attic and the cat definitely misses my husband when he's not there. But yeah, so like cats and dogs and all kinds of animals definitely have rhythms of their own, probably somewhat similar. I know it's not the same thing, but definitely similar to human children. Like, for instance, when the cats are totally passed out, like in the morning, we feed them breakfast, we have a little playtime. They might sleep for like 2 to 4 hours in a stretch and not be anywhere near me. Like, those are the times where I can work uninterrupted in any of the aforementioned environments. Like, I can work at the table and they're not going to bother me. I can work in a room with a door shut and they're going to leave me alone because they're passed out and full of breakfast. So yeah, it's definitely a lot easier when they are asleep than when they are awake and on the prowl for snuggle time. And honestly, at the end of the day, whenever possible, change your environment. Like I touched on a little bit earlier, when we both worked outside of the home, I mean, the cats just had to deal with the fact that we weren't there, right? So it's definitely different with both of us at home too much. We do spend a lot of time outside on walks, getting exercise, going places, but we definitely could do more. And when I say change your environment, I mean things like go to a co-working space, work at a library, spend a few hours at your favorite coffee shop, work at a friend's house. If the budget allows, whether that is your personal budget or your work's budget, look into renting an office, get that co-working membership, rent a studio of some sort, like just something where you have a dedicated workspace that is away from all of the distractions of home. Personally, I recently joined a co-working group that meets once a month. I wish it was once a week, but that's a big ask of the host. But that one time a month, like the time just flies by. I get so much done during those 3 to 4 hours. It's technically a 4-hour window, but I'm never there right at 10. I'm usually rolling in like 11:30. But even in those 2 to 4 hours of the co-working block, I get so much done. And just being around other humans that aren't trying to snuggle me. I mean, I certainly hug my friends, but like they're not on my lap while I'm trying to work and they're not leaving their fur all over my shirt. And the biggest bonus of all that is when I get home from 2 to 4 hours outside of the house, the cats are always absolutely thrilled and looking for snuggles right when I walk in the door. So Kathy, I really hope that all that helps. Give your furry friends a snuggle and some extra treats from me. For anyone out there listening, let me know how you navigate working from home with pets. Like, we are absolutely dog people. Our cats would explode if we brought a dog home, and we have family members who are allergic. So a dog is in the far distant future for us. But for folks with dogs, like, what are you doing? Like, does Fluffy have a special bed that they sleep at your feet, at your standing desk? It's a little different with dogs than cats. If you're a lizard person, like, do you get your bearded dragon out and let it sit on your shoulder while you're taking calls? Like, I want to hear from all of you. How do you handle working from home with pets? Clearly, I'm a huge softie, and I absolutely will not suffer a pet that is locked in or out of a room to give you distance from them, especially if they're like whining or crying. I just can't handle it. So more often than not, I just give in and give them my love. I have a stock of clean shirts that are just ready to go. So when I get pulled into meetings where I have to be on video, I can be there with a clean shirt, which is super important. Excuse me. Oh, hi. Speaking of the pets, one has just joined the party and is whining outside of the podcast closet door. In other news, sign up for the newsletter if you're feeling fancy. It's askanassistant.substack.com. There has been a big influx of friends over at the Substack in recent days, and I am just tickled pink. Welcome to all of you, and I promise to send a newsletter soonish. If you sign up for the paid portion of the membership, I do release a smaller win and or whoopsie of the week where I just talk about wins and whoopsies from the course of any given week, both personal and professional. It's a fun little space. It's on Substack and Patreon and Apple Plus. And until next week, and as always, stay happy, healthy, hydrated, and take care.